So this is day 14 of my 30 Days of React challenge, and the last couple of projects I've done have been a bit dry, so today I've made something a bit more fun. It's an app where you can build a Trump quote using other Trump quotes. Let's have a look. Quick demo, here we have instructions. Click words from the Trump quote below to build your own. Let's start. So, you had Saddam happy crime I've today love blood seriously. There we go. So kind of a silly app, but yeah, fun anyway. Have a quick look at the code. First of all, I'm just going to talk about the two functions that I use in this app. The first is fetch quote, which fetches a quote from an API I've used to get these random Trump quotes, just some random one I found on the internet. So what we do first is declare an empty variable called quote. Then what I'm doing is creating a new variable called index, which is just a random number between 1 and 40. And that's because the API just gives you a bunch of random quotes. So I need to be able to, I need to get a random number so that I can randomize what's being displayed. We're doing our API call. And then what we're doing is creating a variable called quote, which is our response. And taking this random number index, and then we want to split it because we don't want one object, which is the entire array. We actually want to isolate each word in that quote, so we can then attribute a click handler to it. I then set the state of quote to quote, and then, like in the last app, I set our state of data loaded to true, so that it then loads that quote into the DOM. I'll just quickly talk through my second function, which is select word handler. That is triggered each time the user clicks on a word like this. So what this does is actually takes your current quote up here. So obviously if you haven't clicked anything, it's going to be empty, but otherwise it's going to have whatever words you've selected so far. And then what it does is declares a variable called word to add, which is what's going on here? Excuse me a second. Of course, which picks up the word that you're clicking based on the index. It then pushes that new word into your quote, so it'll be kind of toting up all of those different those words you've chosen and putting them together. And then it sets the state of your quote to your quote again. So then if you've added that new word in, it's going to update your quote so that it has your kind of, each time I'm doing it, it's updating and adding that extra word in. And what we're doing at the end as well is, since each time we add a word to our built quote, we want to then render another new random quote, we need to call our fetch quote again. This video is getting a little bit long already, so I'm just going to quickly go over my render block. The point of React in part is the idea that you make all of these kind of reusable components that you can use all over different parts of your app. And so far I kind of haven't done that. I've just been creating new components for each area of the app, but I've actually done that this time. I've got only one external component here, which is super simple. And I'm actually using that to render both the user quote and the randomly generated quote. So here we have just a little section which defines and displays words from the fetched quote and maps through them. And you'll see here I am using my word component. Similarly, down here in the section which defines the own Trump quote that we're building ourselves, I've also used the word component. They're styled the same. I guess I could have passed other kind of styling differences through into the component, which I could have then used, but I've just kind of left it as it is for now. And that's enough for today. Bye.